Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. It is Monday, I'm in Malaysia, it is noon. You're going to have to excuse me because I am borderline not feeling well, but I'm ready to talk business, I'm ready to talk history, I'm ready to talk economics. Now, what is my live stream about? My live stream is helping everyday people who are everywhere in the world understand what is happening globally, domestically, as far as economics, as far as policies, as far as current events. My goal is to translate what is happening in the news and what is happening in real life and taking white collar language and translating it to everyday people, okay? So the point of my live is to help you be able to make objective, strategic decisions in regards to your personal economic prosperity. The problem is that a number of normal people really don't understand the landscape of what's happening globally and domestically, and you think that you put your head down and work a job, you're going to be safe. The only way you're going to ride this wave as far as what's happening in our economy globally is by understanding what people are doing, why they're doing it, and how you should move. Now, if you don't move and you don't follow the money, you will end up or stay broke money. But by the end of my live stream, I want to point you to an opportunity that can take you from broke money to new money or new money to more money. Do you understand? Now, all that I ask all of you is to tap the screen and give me hearts, because that lets me know that you are understanding, we're vibing, and I may continue forward, okay? That's the purpose. When I see hearts, I know you're understanding me and I can proceed forward. If you don't understand anything I'm saying, this may not be the right live stream for you. If you say the wrong thing, you will be blocked. I now have a moderator. I want you to understand. You guys have been asking me for a moderator. I have a moderator now. So what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to focus on you. So if you talk about anything that's irrelevant, you're going to get blocked. If you don't see me, there's my moderator, okay? So let's get started. I start all of my live streams off like this. Business is made up of two categories. It is opportunity and it is history. Now, depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it, you're either making history or you're becoming history. Do you understand? You're making history or you're becoming history. Now, if you're becoming history, that leads to broke money. If you're making history, guess what that means? It means you're stacking that cash. So you need to really focus on what I'm saying, because today I'm taking you on the journey of how war and peace are economic booms. Do you understand? War and peace are actually economic booms, and I'm going to walk you through what is happening today and what has happened in the past so you can understand why would a country, besides humanitarian reasons, why would a country go and invest in soldiers and weapons and armor? There's a reason. It's usually money. Now, I know on the surface, a lot of you think it's about feelings and religion and race. No, it's about money. Because if you look at what has happened in Africa, you see Africa's been fighting for a long time, but people don't step in there. So why is it that we step into some situations and not others? It's about money. It's about opportunity. Hello, Aaron, welcome. It's about money and opportunity. So opportunity is risk and rewards. Now, guys, I still need the hearts. I need the hearts, okay? That lets TikTok know that I'm adding value, and it pushes my live stream out to more people. So this is going to be our economic exchange. You give me a string of hearts and I keep giving you the information. But this is always about cash. The problem is that they get normal people caught up in BS. They get you caught up in the color of skin. They get you caught up in religion. They get you caught up in so many different things that the common person actually gets distracted of how that bag, that cash bag, thank you for the gift, is being snatched from you. So this is what the purpose of my live stream is. I'm trying to get you to cut away the fat, move away the dust, and get you to see that it is about money. We don't fight every war. We fight certain ones for a reason. And this is what I want you to understand, okay? So business is made up of opportunity, which is risk and reward. Now, the purpose of starting a business is the reward. How do you balance the rewards against the risk? That's called objectivity. When it comes to anything, time is money and money is time. So if you're going to invest in war activities, you must understand there must be a cash bag, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. No country gets involved in such destructive activities unless there is a huge reward. And I'm going to explain to you what that reward is. Now, the people who are making business moves are the people who are making history. Typically, when you pay attention to history in schools, it's taught from the perspective of the victim and the victor. Victim and victor. But you have to understand, what are people fighting over? They're fighting over money and they're fighting over freedom. Hi, Grant. Money and freedom. Now, whatever sparks that, it changes. But fundamentally, people want freedom and the ability to live life however they deem fit. Okay, are we on the same page? Good. Now, when you put these two together, you have a business cycle. Now, if you've been watching me for a few days, I've talked about other business cycles. I've talked about the gold rush. I've talked about EV. I've talked about the digital wave. There's all kinds of economic business cycles. Some of them overlap, some of them are separate, but you have to understand money moves. The reason why there is poverty is that people who are disadvantaged are not understanding how money works. Money is not allergic to you. Money is not trying to avoid you. You just don't have the knowledge and expertise to understand that money moves. And if you have not been taught how to move with the flow, the waves, the tsunami of money, that is how you end up in poverty, and that is how generational poverty continues. And I got a real problem with generational poverty, okay? So I want you to know that right now. Fundamentally, I get pissed over poverty, but back on topic. So war and peace are business cycles. There is a time where we are fighting, and that is there to reinforce and boom our economy. And then there's a time where, okay, let's peace, because war is no longer profitable and peace is where the bag is at. Now, why do some companies make money? Why do some citizens make money when there's war? Because they are actually engaged in business activities that supports war activities. I'm sorry, guys, I'm in Malaysia. Give me a second. There are, thank you for the gift, Duke. Oh my gosh. Give me a second, guys. It's rush hour. You have to excuse me. I hope you can hear me. Why is this important? When there's war, there is destruction. When destruction ends, reconstruction begins. Listen to me. When there's war, there is destruction. Money is made when there's destruction and war activities. Aaron, I'm moving in about a week or two. I'm going to a new country. When there is war, destruction is profitable. But then there comes a time when there's peace, and that becomes profitable because of reconstruction. Anyone who has paid attention to U.S. history, you will see that the U.S. has strategically moved at a certain period of time, which put us in a strategic, nice to meet you too, that put us in a strategic position of power. Let me give you an example. Before World War I, the US dollar was weak. I want you to listen to me very carefully. Before World War I, the US dollar was weak. The US was not a superpower. Let me tell you what happened with the US. Now, this is my speculation, okay? This is my speculation, but listen to me. When Europe was fighting during World War I, the US was kind of minding its own business. We were watching what was going on in Europe, but we were minding our own business because we had the safety of the Atlantic Ocean. After a period of time of complete and utter destruction because of World War I, guess what happened? People had to lay down arms because U.S. economy was great before, but U.S. economy wasn't that strong. Now listen to me. When the U.S. came in at the end of World War I, what did we do? We started helping with reconstruction. We gave loans. We provided supplies, and we helped Europe start to rebuild. By helping Europe to rebuild and having a low valuation of the US dollar, that caused an influx of investment in the US, and it allowed us to position ourselves as a superpower because Europe actually was relying on funds and resources from the US. Listen, we can do this one or two ways. You just got blocked. Hi, Lenia. You just got blocked. World War I, World War II. I'm going to get on topic. I told you I got a moderator. I told you I got a moderator. And let me tell you, my moderator is merciless. She's worse than me. Okay? World War I, the U.S. stepped in, and we provided loans, and we helped with reconstruction. When there's reconstruction, let me tell you what that means. That means that money is being spent. Anytime money is being spent, that spurs growth, economic growth. So remember I told you when war is happening, there is destruction. Well, in order to destroy things, you need soldiers, you need equipment, you need weapons, food. So even with war, it spurs the economy. But at some point in time, you have to stop the destruction to begin the reconstruction. And that is why companies and people who are in industries that support war activities and or support reconstruction activities actually become richer. And the reason why the U.S. was able to position itself as a superpower and reinforce that after World War II is because of the strategic decisions that we made. We did not get destroyed, the U.S. We weren't fighting in the U.S. The destruction was happening in Europe. So that afforded the U.S. the ability to have manufacturing and production happen, so that we were spurring jobs and growth to supply goods, resources, loans, and money to Europe. Are you with me? Let me know, because I'm going to translate how this is impacting you. Now, the U.S. served as a creditor, the U.S. served as a supplier, and the U.S. served as construction. They helped to construct back Europe. Now, if anyone knows, that's ka-ching, ka-ching. The U.S. basically spread itself in all critical corners to Japan as well, to help rebuild Europe and to make us richer. We made a lot of money because of the fighting that was happening overseas. Now, we came in at the last minute. You may wonder, why was the U.S. not involved earlier in World War I and World War II? Let me tell you why. The U.S. strategically entered into these activities when it was of the most benefit to us. There had to be a certain level of destruction in order for other people to look at what we were offering. And we were offering loans, we were offering supplies, and we were offering goods to help the countries rebuild themselves. Are you with me? So because the US dollar was weak at the beginning of World War I, and we had money, we had industries to support the reconstruction, it helped position the US to become a global superpower. It was a strategic move. I told you a few minutes ago at the beginning of my live stream, no one really gets involved in war unless there is a pot of gold. There is a bounty that is at the end of this rainbow. And at the end of the rainbow, let me tell you what the U.S. got. We made money from loans, we made money from supplying, and we made money from rebuilding. Now, I know a lot of people get in their feelings about humanitarian causes, but I'm not focusing on the humanitarian aspect. I'm focusing on business, history, and money. We get too caught up in our feelings, and we miss out on understanding why companies, countries, people, dictators, presidents do what they do. No one is sacrificing the lives of their citizens without a monetary or a powerful reason. You have to get your head out of the emotions and you have to start thinking like bosses, because this boss mindset is going to help me show you where the money is going and how this is impacting you, okay? So today, let me bring it to today. The same strategy that helped position the U.S. as a superpower, we're using it right now. Let me explain. Trump right now is devaluing the U.S. dollar. Trump is devaluing the U.S. dollar to encourage foreign investment into the U.S. Now, why is this important? Because Trump wants peace and between Ukraine and Russia, and Trump wants peace between Gaza and Israel. Now, I told you, if you're paying attention, there's a lot of destruction that's happening. Industries are being disrupted, people's lives, schools, education are being disrupted between Ukraine and Russia fighting and Israel and Gaza fighting. Now, what does this have to do with us? I already told you, we're repeating the same thing. Trump is devaluing the US dollar. It is encouraging foreign investment. And what is Trump saying? Trump says he wants peace between Russia and Ukraine. Why? Because reconstruction can begin. Russia's pipelines they're getting hit. Okay, they're getting blitzed. Russia is allowing their pipelines on some level to get hit. Now, those pipelines are actually for Europe, the EU. So why is Russia allowing their pipelines, their third or fourth pipeline to the EU to get hit? Why is the EU sitting back watching as pipelines that have their oil get hit? Now, for some of you, it says this doesn't make any sense. Thank you for the gift. You're saying it doesn't make any sense because money is in reconstruction. Reconstruction can bring back any economy. So on the surface, for everyday people, you think, wow, this is horrible. But the rich and powerful is saying, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Do I have a YouTube channel? Yes, I do. My YouTube channel is the same as this. Please do not ask me that again, okay? Please block. Okay, I gotta block you. It's ka-ching, it's ka-ching, it's ka-ching. You must understand that. And the only way you're going to stop doing that is you need to stop believing the hype and you need to analyze. No one does anything unless it's about the money. So Trump is devaluing the dollar. You have countries like Saudi Arabia. You have billionaires from Taiwan investing in the industries in the U.S. because the U.S. is cheap. Just like the U.S. went and invested in China and we invested in India. We did that because it was cheap. So now Trump is he's reversing the playbook. China used to be cheap. India used to be cheap. He's devaluing the US dollar so much that he wants all the money, the industries to flow back in our direction. That's one. Second, he is trying to get peace between Russia and Ukraine. Now, I don't know how this works where one country keeps blitzing the other country and there's peace talks. That doesn't make any sense to me. You got everyone saying they want peace, yet they're still blitzing each other with drones. I'm just saying. So you have destruction still happening, and you have talks of reconstruction. You want to know why talks of reconstruction are still going on? Because they are trying to figure out who's going to be the major players to make bank when Ukraine and Russia starts getting reconstructed. Listen to me. Typically what happens, you have these backdoor country club conversations that's happening. And big wig powerful people get together and they start deciding, divvying up who gets what part of the pie, of the money. Let me know if you're with me. You see, you think that everything you see on the news is the truth. No, that's surface level. You have rich, powerful people in industry, contracts, exactly. So you want to know what these peace talks are about? These peace talks are still going on because they're trying to decide who is getting what contract to rebuild Ukraine. Who's getting what contract to rebuild the Russian pipelines? But in the meantime, everyday citizens and everyday people are suffering because of the activities that is happening. Every time a pipeline gets hit, let me tell you what happens. Energy prices go up. Every time a pipeline gets hit, energy prices go up. Now, you would think that Russia would be upset. Let me tell you why Russia's not upset. Because Russia still has the oil. So even if the EU has paid for a supply of oil, Russia already has the cash and Russia still has the oil. Now, Russia can say, look, you would have had the oil if Ukraine didn't hit the pipeline. So if you want your oil, I suggest you get your dude in gear, because he's actually interfering with your ability to provide energy to your citizens of the EU. Now you have Gaza and Israel. You know that's fighting has been going on all the time. I don't care about betrayal. Block, 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 block. I told you this is about cash. Everybody betrays everybody. I want to be clear. Everybody betrays everyone. That happens in business. Your feelings have nothing to do with my live stream. I'm talking about cash. And if you can't focus, you're going to get blocked. Now you have Gaza and Israel. That area has been fighting for a long time. Now Trump is in Israel. That area has been fighting for a long time. Now Trump is in power. They want to develop that land. Do you know what that means to develop land? That means millions, billions of trillions of dollars. That means people are getting rich. So you have a piece of land that has been utterly destroyed, that on the surface looks like it's not valuable. Let me tell you what's in Gaza. Natural resources. People, countries are willing to invest in the Gaza Strip because it has natural resources. Look at what happened in Africa. Diamonds, natural resources. Do you know countries like the US, Britain, the Dutch, China are getting rich off of the natural resources of Africa? That is what is in Gaza. You guys see a war-torn land, and let me tell you what the business people see. They see money. They can't get to the natural resources of Gaza if there's fighting. So now you want to know why the U.S. has now got involved in war activities? Because they see money. I can guarantee you, nobody will invest in a land unless there was money in there. What does the U.S. want from Ukraine? The U.S. wants the minerals from Ukraine. Listen to me. For 4 years, 3 to 4 years, the U.S. has funded Ukraine in this war against Russia. And now Trump has come into power. What does Trump want from Ukraine? As repayment for the weapons, the intel, everything. What do you think they want? He wants the resources, because those resources are going to help us build industries and make money. When you are thinking minerals, when you are thinking with basic human emotions, there is no way you're going to be able to learn how to tap that cash and stack that bank. This is the purpose of my live stream, is to get you to think strategically. At the end of my live stream, I tell people, I'm going to take a sidebar. At the end of my live stream, I tell people a economically feasible and viable way from them to go from broke money to new money, or to go from new money to stack more money. And 99.5% of you will never take action on an industry and an opportunity that will help you earn 100% profits and a 2-hour workday. So even now, when I'm talking to you about war is business and peace is business, you can't understand, because you can't see past your ego. And because you can't see past your ego, you'll never be able to understand how the real players move. Do you think you want to talk about humanitarian causes? Humanitarian causes are good as long as they look good and they make money. I'm sorry, I got to speak some real truth right now. A lot of us like to focus on humanitarian causes. Humanitarian causes are great. But have you ever wondered why certain people want to become philanthropic? They want to become a humanitarian, ethical company after they did their dirt? If you go back in history, and you look at rich major conglomerates, if you study their history, they all got their hands dirty and activities that would make you cry, weep, and crawl into a corner. And after they tap that cash and stack that bank, all of a sudden they want to take off their boogeyman face. They want to put makeup on a pig, and then they want to say they're humanitarian, they're philanthropic. You got to know when you're being played. You got to know when you're being paid. Even Habitat for Humanity is being investigated. You have nonprofits that are being investigated by the U.S. government. How is it that humanitarian nonprofits are being investigated if they're for the people? So I'm here to educate you, and I'm here to burst your bubble. Even for humanitarian causes, they have an agenda. Everybody has a goddamn agenda. So you need to get out of your emotions, and you need to figure out where you fall on this divide. Now, I'm not talking about being unethical. I'm talking about you being wise, smart, and looking at the facts and not what you're being told. Because if it doesn't make sense, it's not making money. And if it doesn't make sense to you, that means you're not making money. I want to repeat. It has to make sense to make dollars. And if something does not make sense to you, I can tell you, you're not making any money. You have to be able to see behind what you're being showed and look at what's happening behind the scenes. Okay? Everyone is doing it. You think people are out there trying to help others? No, it's what's in it for them. And sometimes it makes them look good. And even look good translates to money. Thank you for the gift. So Trump is now positioning himself to bring peace in Israel and Gaza. Now, we are engaging in activities that are hostile in Israel and Gaza. I want to repeat, the U.S. is engaging in activities that are hostile in the Israel-Gaza area, but the end goal is Trump wants to develop the area, all right? Trump wants to develop the Gaza area. Now, here's the funny thing. When Trump initially announced that he wants to develop the land, the Gaza land, a lot of countries were against this in the Middle East. Initially, a lot of countries were against Gaza being developed. They have now changed their tune. Before they said, no, 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 no. Now they're saying, how can we be a part of this? Why would people change their political, their economic position on something unless they planned on getting paid? They're saying, hey, why should the U.S. benefit off of this? We're here, let us make money. So this is what I tell you, how people change their tune, they change their face, they change their talk, because cash is king. Is this right or wrong? I'm not here to decide. I'm not here to decide what is right or wrong. And I'm not here to indulge people saying money is evil. Money is not evil. Money doesn't decide to go to war, it's people. So don't tell me money is evil. And don't come in here talking to me about bullshit. This is about money. Initially, they had a strong stance. No, the U.S. will not come and develop the Gaza Strip. Now they're saying, okay, how much money do we need to put up so we can get a piece of this pie and we can redevelop this? What happened about the people? What about the people? Wasn't that what this was about? Wasn't this about the people? It shifted from being about the people into being about people earning money off of the people. Listen to how they play. Initially, Trump said, we want the group of people, we want them to relocate while we develop. People in the Middle East said, no, 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 no. We don't want you to send them. We want you to keep them right where they are. I thought you want the people to prosper. So you want to keep the people there while reconstruction is happening. Guess why? They want to keep people there for the reconstruction, because it's called labor exploitation. I'm sorry if I'm speaking something that is hard, but I need you to understand the economics. By deciding to keep the population in Gaza and reconstruct the Gaza area. That means that there will be labor to use and exploit. And there is nobody in my live stream that will tell me that first world developed salaries will be paid to people in that strip of land. It's called exploitation. I told you, war is boom. Peace is boom. Now, how do you make money? You need to decide what side of the fence you're going to be on. Even right now with the Russia-Ukraine war, you're thinking it's not happening on U.S. soil, so it doesn't impact me. Everything impacts you. When oil energy prices go up because a Russian pipeline is hit, you must understand that impacts the global supply of oil. Now, even though that oil was destined for the EU, you must understand we are a global economy. So if supply is cut due to war, energy prices is going to be felt. It's no different than U.S. and Canada fighting. Canada saying, hey, I'm going to put a 25% tariff on your electricity. We're all getting impacted by what is happening. But there's some people who are getting rich and some people who are going more broke. How much time do I have? I got 30 minutes. Are you with me? It's about money. The reason why poor stay poor and people become poor is because you're not looking at the chessboard. This is chess. People become president of the United States because they want power. They want to help, but they want power. They want to leave a legacy. Everyone is operating from an ego-based perspective. They want a legacy. They want to be known in history. Do you know how many countries want to be associated with redeveloping the Gaza Strip? Do you know that will go down in history? You will be known in the future for being a part of redeveloping a war-torn land. So you think that people are moving out of the generosity of their heart. It's about money. And you need to start operating in a way that aligns you to make legal, legitimate money that uses the technologies and the industry, the technologies and the innovations that's happening right now. The same technologies that are causing job loss are the same technologies that you can personally use to advance your income earning abilities. Now, some of you are not into defense and you have nothing to do with reconstruction, but that does not mean that there's not opportunity for everyday people. Companies that happen to be in reconstruction or destruction, they actually really benefit during times of war and times of reconstruction. Average everyday people would normally work in factories or defense or security companies. But now that you have AI, you have drones, you have robotics, you have quantum computing and AI, humans are no longer needed in the same capacity that they were needed in before. Listen to me. Now we have robots that can fix potholes that humans used to do. Did you block K-Dog? Okay. There are robots that can fill potholes that humans used to do. So all is not lost. You just got to be able to play the game. Just like you know the rules of basketball and you know the rules of football, there's rules to earning money. There's rules to stacking money and there's rules to keeping money. But if you still get caught up in old money ways, you will go broke from old money ways. What are old money ways? Let me give you an example. Taking out tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt when you're not more than likely going to be able to get a job. That's old money ways. Thinking that you can invest in the stock market, work for 30 years and have a retirement fund when you retire. That's old money ways. Those are old money ways. Let me tell you why. Because right now the stock market is in an economic bubble. The government is slashing spending, corporations are slashing jobs, and consumers don't have money to spend. So how is it possible that gold, silver, crypto, and the stock market is green when all the economic indicators show that the economy is shrinking? That's called an economic bubble. So if you listen to analysts who are telling you to buy, and you can't afford to play this rich man's game, you're going to end up losing your shirt, your shoes, and your shorts. There are people who are giving you information, and because you don't have the facts and you don't understand how economics work, you get shafted. So instead of getting shafted, I want you to shift, okay? When you shift, you avoid getting shafted. Now, if you don't know what that means, look it up. I'm speaking metaphorically. Now, back on topic to history. What are the rewards? By Trump facilitating peace and stabilizing the Gaza region and trying to stabilize Russia and Ukraine, hello, let me tell you what happens. You have businesses boom, demand, because reconstruction is demand. U.S. scales back on our debt. Other countries invest in the U.S., and it helps us pull away from recession. And it makes the U.S. more relevant globally by bringing opportunity. Now, here's something you must understand. There's a risk to this. Those are the positive. Let me tell you the risk to U.S. citizens. Devaluing the U.S. dollar means greater inflation. Greater inflation means things are more expensive in the U.S. There's a higher chance of unpredictable markets. That means right now, the stock market, Wall Street, are a bunch of bitch babies. Wall Street is acting like a bunch of bitch babies because the market is unpredictable. Hello, the market is supposed to be unpredictable, right? If the stock market is supposed to be unpredictable and these people are trained to earn money from the stock market, why are they acting like a bunch of bitch ass babies? You're supposed to be able to earn money from the market, right? So now you have Wall Street crying because the market is unpredictable. Makes no sense to me, but they're crying about this. The only certain industries are ones that have to do with the digital wave, which is current economic boom, war, destruction type of companies, and reconstruction type of companies. That is where the money is going. I'm going to repeat. The digital industry is booming. Anyone who's supplying goods and services to Ukraine and Russia is booming. Anyone that's involved in Gaza and Israel is booming. Because that's where the money is flowing. So if you follow where spending is happening, if you trace the money, you will see what is inspiring growth. Now, all industries are not growing. Because of quantum computing and AI, robotics, algorithms, they are actually sucking the money from other industries. That also is what happens. You have technologies that actually destroys some other industries, and what happens? That's called money transfer. So industries that are being destroyed, Uber and Lyft, that's going to be a side hustle that's going to be obsolete, because guess what? Self-driving cars will put Uber drivers and Lyft drivers out of a hustle. So where's that money going to go? That money is going to go into people who are in the digital wave. Money does not disappear. Money moves. And if you don't have the skills, expertise, or knowledge to move with that money, that's how you stay broke money or you become new money. When you don't change and you do not adapt, you get change in your bank account. When you do not change and you do not adapt, you get change in your bank account. Very simple. So how do you start avoiding risk? Well, first, let me give you more examples. The U.S. helped build Iraq. The U.S. was involved in the Iraq reconstruction, and we were also involved in the Afghanistan reconstruction. Why? Because you had contractors we sent over there. They made money. We bought supplies from the U.S. We took those supplies and we started reconstructing, attempting to reconstruct Iraq and Afghanistan. And that helped bolster our economy when it gets weak. When our economy starts to get shaky, the U.S. has a clear pattern of evolving itself and certain activities overseas that has to do with destructive purposes that leads to reconstruction purposes, because all that spurs and supports our economy. Now, sometimes, let me tell you what happens. Only certain industries get rich. Defense industries got rich from the Iraq War. Normal citizens, you paid the taxes and we went into debt. That's another reason why a number of U.S. citizens were angry, because a number of defense industries contractors or companies got those contracts. And we got shafted as everyday citizens. You know why? Because you probably weren't in the defense industry. You weren't in a lucrative industry. So basically what I tell you, a vacuum happens. A money vacuum happens. When you don't move with the economic boom, money gets sucked. Thank you, Cher. Money gets sucked. Do you hear me? Listen to me. I told you money doesn't disappear, money moves. So when the U.S. economy is weakened, we engage in certain strategic activities overseas. And then what happens is that we suck money from other industries and that money goes over here. That's called the new money and the more money side. And a lot of y'all become broke money. Are you with me? Welcome to my live stream. Who am I? My name is Tara. I am a digital nomad. I have a degree in business and international economics. I love history. I love business. I love translating it so everyday people can understand how you can tap that cash and stack that bank. Now, a number of you try to play the rich man's game, and you must understand you can't afford to play the games of the rich. But if you focus on certain microeconomic booms, you can actually benefit off of the activities of the movers and the shakers and the money makers. Did you hear me? The movers and shakers and the money makers actually create microeconomic booms for everyday people in which you can prosper. And that is where I'm going to take you by the end of my live stream. How much time do I have left? All right. So let me get back on topic. Bottom line, war creates economic boom. Reconstruction creates economic boom. Now, here's where things get a little tricky right now. Here's where things are going to get a little tricky. In the past, when the U.S. has engaged in destructive or reconstructive activities, because of how our industries produce goods and services, it actually created jobs for Americans. We're going to get a little tricky now. Hold on to your seatbelts. Because of the digital wave, the digital boom, the jobs that normally would be created are not going to be created. Let me tell you why. In the past, we did not have the quantum computing, AI, algorithms. We didn't have robotics and automations the way we do now. We had automations, but we didn't have automations coupled with robotics. That means robots that can do backflips. We did not have quantum computing that could calculate quantum unknowns. We relied on humans. So now we have our brilliant software engineers that have programmed themselves out of a job because AI will now be doing 90% of the code within 12 months. So what does this mean? Even though we are engaging in destructive and reconstructive activities, which spurs growth, and we are devaluing the dollar to encourage foreign investment, I have to tell you the truth. The jobs that you are accustomed to seeing available during these activities are being replaced by AI, automations, quantum chips, robotics. Let me know if you're with me. Some of you already know what I'm talking about because you're losing your jobs because of automations and AI. Trump is engaging in activities to strengthen the U.S. economy. But just because he's strengthening the U.S. economy, he's not saving your ass. If you hear me tap that screen, I need to emphasize this. In the past, when we did this, jobs and industries, jobs were created, factories, jobs were created. You happen to be alive during a time where your worst or best sci-fi movies are coming true. So they don't have to hire you because a robot can work 24/7. Before, when there was wartime activities, you had humans working, you had 3 shifts, the day shift, the afternoon shift and the nighttime shift. And you had women and men working in factories. They don't need you. They no longer need the quantity of human beings that we used to use in the past. Now, what do? You need your own business. I told you all is not lost, but I have to get you with the program so you can understand what's happening. The world economy and the U.S. economy is going through a transformation. It is going through a transformation. We have technologies that are going to obliterate everything you think you know and you've come familiar with. I was on the computer with my daughter yesterday, and who was it? Microsoft? Microsoft has an AI that does the job of a real estate agent. You can be sitting at your home on a computer having a conversation with AI, trying to find a new home, and AI would say, no, that's too expensive. No, that's not nice. I saw it. Microsoft has AI technology that is going to put real estate agents out of a job. Quantum computing and AI is going to change the game of the stock market. I am trying to tell you, you have tenured professors at Johns Hopkins University that are being laid off because 1, Trump is cutting funding, but 2, you have e-learning. E-learning can now replace those professors that cost so much money. You have to have your own business. Now, here's the problem. We are in tumultuous times. Let's say hypothetically, the U.S., we lose our mind and we start fighting with one another. Let's say on U.S. soil, we start fighting with one another. If you have a brick and mortar business in the U.S., and let's say hypothetically, war activity starts happening on U.S. soil, it makes it hard for normal everyday businesses to conduct business because resources and goods are impacted by blitzes. So this is why I'm advocating for people to earn digital money, because digital money, let me tell you what that means. That means there's no tariffs. There is no stopping of you delivering your goods and or services because everything is digital. The future is with digital. Digital money, digital opportunities, that is where the money is. So I told you at the end of my live stream, I was going to hit you with information on what I think is a viable opportunity for all of you. The digital wave is booming. The digital wave is sucking money out of so many industries. It is ripping through software programming. It's ripping through biotech. It's ripping through traditional education. It's going to rip through clinical trials, pharmaceuticals, real estate. The film industry, is the entertainment industry. Quantum computing and AI is sucking the money out of industries that are obsolete, becoming obsolete, and old money ways. Now, what does that mean? AI in 5 years is predicted to put the Apple iPhone success to shame. AI is predicted to put the success globally of the Apple iPhone to shame. That means money, cash, money. E-learning is a part of the digital industry. The digital industry has cell phones, cryptos involved on some level. You have algorithms, quantum computing, AI. You have automations. You have robotics, and you have e-learning. Now, the reason why I'm talking about e-learning is because 1, it's affordable. 2, it's easy. 3, normal everyday people anywhere in the world can get involved in e-learning. Most of you can't touch AI. You can't touch AI in this lifetime because some of you are too late and some of you are too broke. It's all good. Quantum computing, robotics, you don't understand that to save your life. So that's why I'm talking about e-learning. It's all good. E-learning is in the shadows of all those other technological advanced industries. But e-learning is simple. E-learning is a $1.5 billion daily industry. I said $1.5 billion daily industry. E-learning is projected to double in 2 years. Did you hear me? It's going to double, projected in 2 years. What does that mean? That means that is a microeconomic boom. That is a microeconomic boom that aligns with the wallets of everyday people. You can't afford to play the game of AI. You can't afford to play the game of quantum computing. You can't afford to play the game of algorithms and robotics. But you can get into an industry like e-learning. Now you're saying, I don't know shit. I can't teach shit. Let me tell you something. Excuse my language, but I speak very directly. Here's the magical thing. Nowadays, you don't have to create anything. Because of other people and their hard work and their technological skills, you don't have to waste the time, energy, or money creating something because it's already been created. It's like the automobile. Someone created the first automobile and then someone else came along and made it better, and then made it better, and made it better. Now you guys have stopped tapping. Come on now, I got 9 minutes before I go. Can you give a sister some love? Can you give me some love? I know I have shocked you, I've rocked you, but that's good. That means I'm cleaning out the cobwebs and I'm expanding your mind. E-learning is projected to double within 2 years. That's like the tech boom. That's like the real estate boom. That's like the renewable energy boom. Do you not see money? Now you say, how do I get involved in this? First, that's okay, Alvin. First, let me tell you what you do. You have to, one, use the technologies. You have to use the technologies that are putting you out of work. One. Two, you got to get the knowledge. Now, good news. If you haven't left my live stream, and gone to my profile, my website is where you need to be. But I'm going to give you more detail. Anyone who's lost patience with me now, all you got to do is leave my live stream, go to my profile because my website's here. Let me tell you what's going to happen. I told you I'm a digital nomad. I work 2 hours a day. I have an automated system, online automated system. I want you to listen to me. I have an online automated system. Online means digital. Automations means digital industry. System, that means digital industry. I have an online automated system that works for me 24/7. Did I build it? No. I did not build it. It was already made. I invested one time less than the cost of your cell phone. I want you to listen to me very carefully. I invested one time less than the cost of your cell phone, less than the cost of your gaming system, less than the cost of your flat screen TV. And I got an online automated system that uses the technologies of AI and automations that's in the e-learning industry first. So I got a money machine. Hold on. Someone said con artist. Let me tell you what the con is. When you drive for Uber and Lyft and you give away 50% of your money, that's a con. When you work for a company for 10, 20 years and they lay you off for someone cheaper, that's a con. When you work for 30 years, you put your savings, your disposable income into a 401k, and because of bull players, they crash the market and you have pennies in your retirement account, that is a con. When you sit in traffic for 2 hours, you ask for permission to take lunch, and you can't get sick days approved to go take care of your child or your loved one, that is a con. So don't come in my live stream trying to tell me I'm a con. Because let me tell you this, Elon Musk, he must be a con because he's rich. Trump, he's gone bankrupt 6 times. But let me tell you something, he has the money, intelligence, and contacts to start a new business to be able to go bankrupt. You've never started a business. You'll never have a business, which is why you will always be broke money. People who earn money invest in themselves. You are now in a time where you cannot rely on the government or employers to save you. But the good news is you can now save yourself. The e-learning industry has no gatekeepers, no regulators, no permits. Do you have to create anything? No, it's already created. So this online automated system that I'm talking to you about is already built. You can have it up and running within 24 to 72 hours. Did you hear me? The online automated system, you can have it up and running within 24 to 72 hours because all you got to do is plug your domain into the system because it already works, okay? Because I have this automated system, I work 2 hours a day. I get paid daily, and my automated system works for me 24/7. I want you to hear me. I work 2 hours a day. I get paid every single day. Today, I just got $1,200 deposited into my bank account. Do you understand? I told you I got a problem with poverty and generational poverty. And if you don't like my passion, you don't like my directness, you don't like my aggressiveness, you shouldn't be in my live stream. Scroll, kick rocks. Because let me tell you something. Mark Cuban, do you think Mark Cuban is a pushover? Do you think any person with money and power who's stacking bank, do you think they're a pushover? Do you think Dr. Dre is a pushover? Do you think Cardi B is a pushover? Do you think any person who's making money is a pushover? So if you can't handle the heat, hey, that means you can't stack cash. And if you can't stack cash, you need to take your ass and go kick rocks. Real talk, just kick rocks. Because that's all you're going to have in your bank account, which is rocks. Now, the e-learning industry is going to make a lot of money. Now, this automated, I love y'all too. This automated system, let me tell you something. It comes with a manual. It comes with a blueprint. Remember, I told you to make money in the digital industry, you have to have the tool. You have to have the tool, which is the technology, and you have to have the knowledge and expertise. This automated system comes with the knowledge and expertise, which means it will train you. Don't worry about tech skills. Don't worry about your work experience. Don't worry about your education level. You can have an Ivy League MBA. You could be a retired C-level executive. You can be a high school dropout adult. Everything you need to know, you need to be taught. To earn money in a new industry and to ride the wave, you need the knowledge, you need the expertise, and you need the technology. So for this thing, you get the technology and you get the reskills manual. Now let me tell you how much this costs. It's either one-time payment of $600 or one-time payment of $300 or one-time payment of $100. Did you hear me? One-time payment of $600 or one-time payment of $300 or one-time payment of $100. What does that mean? That means that you can get an automated system that aligns with your goals and your budget, and you can get the skills and knowledge to start earning digital money. You cannot earn digital money unless you know how. Now, you're typically used to corporations and companies investing in your training, or you're used to taking on huge amounts of student debt in hopes of getting a job. Old money ways is going to keep you broke and under the weight of debt. Did you hear me? Old money ways of moving is going to keep you broke, or it's going to keep you under the weight of student debt. Who gets this money? 100% of the money goes to you. Great question, N. N asked me a question. If I get an automated system, who earns the money? Your automated system, it's your money. You earn 100% of the money. Do you understand? No, it not. No, it not, because I am following you. I don't know what you're talking about. You earn 100% of the profits. No multi-level marketing, no cold calling, no DMing. This is an automated system that you will be taught how to use to earn digital money online. It's an investment in you. So instead of you investing $1,000 in a cell phone, if you would have spent $600 one time only, no overhead, no inventory, no middleman, no small commissions, you earn $600, you get $600. Your automated system is yours. No, who gets the $600? What do you mean? Who gets the $600? to answer this question very simply. I have an automated system that earns me money. If you get an automated system, it will earn you money. Let me know if you understand me. I'm almost done. I have an automated system. You have to pay taxes. This is a business. You have to pay your own taxes. It's a business. You have to pay your own taxes. This is not a job. This is not a job. This is your own. How can I do that? Everything is on my profile. All you got to do is leave mine live and go to my profile. I want to repeat. I invested in my own automated system that earns me money every day, 100% profits. If you want to have daily pay, 2-hour workday, and 100% profits, you need to invest in your own automated system that's already built. Now, In had some magical beans in her head. And that's why she got blocked. Don't ask me Saint Upit questions. You get your system, you earn the bank. I got my system, I earned the bank. Are we clear? I invested in the technology. I invested in getting reskilled. I earned my money 100%. You invest in your system, you invest in your manual one time, you earn all the money. Are we clear? That's how you earn 100% profits. There's no marketing, there's no advertising, there's no inventory. Is it easy to do, or do I have to learn to do it? Lifestyle, you will be trained on how to get your automated system working for you. Is it easy to do? For me, it's easy. For you, it depends. Do you have 2 hours a day to focus? Do you have the ability to follow directions? And do you have the ability to commit? The easiness is dependent on you. A lot of people are complacent. They lack the ability to commit, and they lack the ability to be consistent. Anybody who's stacking cash, you know, to stack cash, you have to be committed, you have to be consistent. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. People who have success, even sports stars, LeBron James, everyone, they have to be consistent and they have to be committed. If you lack, hold on, there's a puzzle. If you lack consistency and committed, that's going to determine your success. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going. Some of y'all are committed and consistent to commuting 2 to 4 hours every day. Some of y'all are committed and consistent to working a job in which you have to beg for a raise and hope for a promotion. Some of you are committed and consistent to having your freedom taken from you as you work for someone else. Now, if you can be committed to being depleted as an employer, then why can't you be committed to reskilling yourself, getting your time back, and getting 100% profit? See, you're committed to the wrong things. You're consistent on the wrong things. Now, old money ways, thank you for the gift. Old money ways is not going to get you through these times. If you've listened to my entire live stream, I've illustrated that industry is coming back to the US, but it's not going to look the way it used to. And if you don't believe me, you sit back and wait. Oh yes, lifestyle, a 4-year-old can do it. Lifestyle, a 4-year-old can do it. Yes, yes. You can be a high school dropout. You can be a retiree. It's simple. There you go, Nancy. I love y'all. I hope I've added value. I hope I've expanded your thoughts. But the world is changing. And either you get on the side where the money is, it's step by step. Exactly. It's step by step. It's learn to earn. Every day you learn something, you implement. You learn something, you implement. You learn something, you implement. Did you hear me? Every step of the way. This is why I love this. Typically, when you go to school, when I went to college for 4 years. I was in school for 4.5 years. Thank you for the gift. And then I got a job. With this, you don't have to go to school for 4.5 years to start earning money. If you with it and you're focused and you get it, some people are earning money within 7 days. Within 7 days of launching their automated system, so what can you do? I got to ask you, what can you do? Is the bank there? Yes. Where am I from? I'm from the US. I'm in Malaysia, and about a week or two, I'm going to a new country. You can do this if you want to. If you don't shift with the times and you don't shift with the money, you will get shafted by this economy. If you don't shift with the times and you don't shift with the technology and you don't use the technology that is putting you out of a job, you will get shafted and you will stay shafted all day, every day. And I got news for you. The unemployment line is becoming obsolete. The unemployment line, Trump is going to be knocking on that door, handling that too. So if you think unemployment is your safety net, you're in for a rude awakening. Thank you. Everything you need is on my website. My website is on my profile. Have a good night. I'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you for the love. Thank you for your attention. Can you block? Am I going to China next? I'm not telling you guys where I'm going. I want you to block Devin. You will find out where I'm going. Don't block Devin. I think Nancy was fine. Unblock Nancy. And then block Devin. I know, Devin, but guess what? You asked the wrong question, my friend, at the wrong time. So you got to go. Thank you. So Devin, hold on. Devin, are you asking me not to block you, Devin? Hold on, Devin. Unblock him. Let's see if he's there. If he's still here, it's cool.
Whoops. I think it's blocked.
All right, guys. All right, you got blocked, Devin. I'm sorry, guys. Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.